Hello there. Welcome to Story Time. My name is Lee and I am a children's librarian at the community library. And I am doing story time still from my house, but I'm glad you're tuning in and we have a fun story time today. I'm kind of excited about it. Today we are going to read about dragons. Yes, I just kind of thought dragons would be fun, something a little different. So we've got some awesome books. The first book we are going to read is called Dragon Was Terrible, written by Kelly DiPucchio, and the pictures are by Greg Pizzoli, and it is from Phyllis Fogelman Books. Okay, you guys ready to read about this crazy dragon who was so terrible? Dragon was terrible. Naturally, dragons have a bit of terrible in them because they're dragons after all. But this dragon here, super terrible. Oh my gosh, he stomped on flowers, he played tricks on the guards, and he spit on cupcakes. Who does that? Dragon, that's who. He's terrible. That's not all. He scribbled in books, he threw sand, and he took candy from baby unicorns. Honestly, that's terrible. The king had had enough. Enough, he said, and he posted this sign. Brave knights, whoever shall tame the terrible dragon shall be rewarded with a gift. It shall be a nice gift. Ye shall like it. His Royal Majesty, the King. Knights lined up to show off their dragon taming skills. They all failed miserably. The dragon just grew more terrible. He chased fuzzy yellow ducklings around the moat. He TP'd the castle. And he burned every last royal marshmallow to a blackened crisp. Huh. The villagers had had enough. Enough, they said, and they posted this sign. Brave people, whoever shall tame the terrible dragon shall be rewarded with a gift from the king. It shall be a nice gift, we hope. Ye shall like it, perhaps. His Royal Majesty the King. Ordinary blokes and lassies lined up to try their hand at taming the dragon. They all failed, embarrassingly so. And just that when you thought it wasn't possible, dragon grew even more terrible. He popped birthday balloons, he drew funny faces on the drawbridge, and he burped in church. Loudly. Honestly, that's terrible and rude. A boy wearing a feathered cap and a look of determination had had enough. Only he didn't say enough, like you thought he would. Instead, he sketched a story. The next day, Dragon followed a trail of marshmallows to a shady tree where the boy was reading. The boy spied the dragon out of the corner of his eye and began to read aloud in a booming voice. And then the brave dragon swooped in to save the princess, he said. Dragon stopped in his tracks. But the terrible knight pulled out his wicked sword. Dragon pretended not to listen. The brave dragon roared, and the fraidy cat knight trembled in his boots. Dragon pretended to walk away. A crowd began to gather, and Dragon took cover in a tree. The boy continued reading, page after page after page, until... Snap! Crash! Dragon landed on the ground with a terrible thud. The crowd gasped. The dragon roared. Roar! The clever boy didn't flinch. He reached out a hand to the dragon and said, "Would you like to hear how the story ends?" And just when you thought it wasn't possible, Dragon smiled. He took a seat beneath the tree with the other children. Honestly, that's adorable. The king cheered. The villagers cheered. The baby unicorn and fuzzy ducklings cheered the loudest of all. At long last, the terrible dragon had been tamed. The end. Hey, wait! What about the reward? Oh, yes, that. The gift was a new friend, a nice dragon, of course. The end. My gosh, that dragon was really badly behaved. So glad he got his act together, because that was just terrible. All right. Our next book is called The Egg by M.P. Robertson, and it is published by Phyllis Fogelman Books. I might need my glasses for this one. All right, here we go. George knew something wasn't right when he found more than he had bargained for under his mother's favorite chicken. Holy smokes, that is a big egg. He moved the egg to the warmth of his bedroom. For 3 days and 3 nights, he read the egg stories. On the 3rd night, the egg started to rumble. Something was hatching, and it definitely wasn't a chicken. When the dragon saw George, it gave a chirrup of delight. George didn't speak dragon, but he knew exactly what the dragon had said. Mommy. George had never been a mother before, but he knew that it was his motherly duty to teach the dragon dragony ways. The first lesson he taught was the fine art of flying. Look at that dragon learning to fly. The second lesson was fire and how to breathe it. The third lesson was how to distress a damsel. A damsel is another way of saying a girl or a lady. Oh my gosh, George is making faces at her. That's very distressing. And the final lesson was how to defeat a knight. Every evening, as all good mothers should, George read the dragon a bedtime story. One night as he read from a book of dragon tales, the dragon looked longingly at the pictures. A sizzling tear rolled down his scaly cheek. The dragon was lonely. He was missing his own kind. The next morning, the dragon had gone. George was very sad. He thought he would never see his dragon again. But 7 nights later, he was woken by the beating of wings. Excitedly, he pulled back the curtains. There, perched on the tree, was the dragon. George opened the window and clambered onto his back. They soared into the night, chasing the moon around the world, over oceans and mountains and cities. Faster and faster they went, until they came to a place that was neither north nor south, east nor west. They swooped down through the clouds into a cave that gaped like a dragon's jaws. This was the place where dragons lived. The dragon gave a roar of delight. He was home at last. Lots of dragons. Let's see how many there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Finally, it was time for George to leave. Up, up, up they flew, chasing sleep through the night until they could see his home below. George hugged his dragon tight, and the dragon gave a roar. Rawr! George didn't speak dragon, but he knew exactly what the dragon had said. Thank you. Oh my gosh, it would be kind of fun to find a big egg like that. All right, our next book. I bet some of you have heard this one. This is a favorite one. You ready? It is called Dragons Love Tacos. Do you love tacos? Maybe you're a dragon. Who knows? This is written by Adam Rubin, illustrated by Daniel Salamari, and it is published by Dial Books. Hey kid, do you know that dragons love tacos? They love beef tacos and chicken tacos. They love really big, gigantic tacos and tiny little baby tacos as well. Why do dragons love tacos? Maybe it's the smell of the sizzling pan. Maybe it's the crunch of the crispy tortillas. Maybe it's a secret. Either way, if you want to make friends with dragons, tacos are key. Hey dragon, why do you guys love tacos so much? But wait, as much as dragons love tacos, they hate spicy salsa even more. They hate spicy green salsa and spicy red salsa. They hate spicy chunky salsa and spicy smooth salsa. If the salsa is spicy at all, dragons can't stand it. Why do dragons hate spicy salsa? Well, just one drop of hot sauce makes dragons' ears smoke. Just one single speck of hot pepper makes a dragon's snort sparkles. Spicy salsa gives dragons the tummy troubles, and when dragons get the tummy troubles, oh boy! If you want to make tacos for dragons, keep the toppings mild. Tomatoes, check. Lettuce, check. Cheese, check. These are all good toppings for tacos for dragons. Hey dragon, how do you feel about spicy taco toppings? Oh, look at that dragon. I think that's what he's saying. Dragons love parties. They like costume parties and pool parties, and they like big, gigantic parties with accordions and tiny little parties with charades. Why do dragons love parties? Maybe it's the conversation. Maybe it's the dancing. Maybe it's the comforting sound of good friends' laughter. The only thing dragons love more than parties or tacos is taco parties. Taco parties are parties with lots of tacos. If you want to have some dragons over for a taco party, you'll need buckets of tacos. pantloads of tacos. The best way to judge is to get a boat and fill the boat with tacos. That's about how many tacos dragons need for a taco party. After all, dragons love tacos. Hey dragon, are you excited for the big taco party? Just remember, dragons hate spicy salsa. Before you host your taco party with dragons, get rid of all the spicy salsa. In fact, bury the spicy salsa in the backyard so the dragons can't find it. These dragons love your taco party. They love the music. They love the decorations. They especially love the tacos. Congratulations! It's a good thing you got rid of all that spicy... Wait a second. What are those little green things in the salsa? You didn't read the fine print. It says, totally mild salsa, now with spicy jalapeno peppers. Uh-oh. Dragons, listen to me. Don't eat those tacos. Those little green specks in the salsa, those are jalapeno peppers. They are super spicy. I know you love tacos, dragons, but you are not gonna love those tacos. Do not let those dragons eat those tacos. Crunch, 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 crunch. Uh-oh. Too late. Oh my gosh. That's out of control. Blah, blah, blah. They're all breathing fire. Oh my gosh. Uh-oh. They burned his house down by accident. Why would dragons help you rebuild your house? Maybe they're good Samaritans. Maybe they feel bad for wrecking it. Maybe they just love it for the taco breaks. Oh, what nice dragons helping rebuild the house. After all, dragons love tacos. Oh my gosh, what a great book. You know, reading that book makes me really, really hungry. Look what I have. I'm a dragon. Ooh, I think I need a drink. All right. Ha. All right. It's rude to talk with your mouth full, so I needed to finish that. I thought that might be funny. All right. Our last book in our marvelous dragon story time is called The Best Pet of All. It is from Dutton Publishers. It is written by David LaRochelle and illustrated by Hanako Wakiyama. All right. Let's see what happens in this book. On Monday, I asked my mother if I could have a dog. A dog is a good pet, I said. No, she said. Dogs are too messy. On Tuesday, I asked my mother if I could have a dog. A dog is a very good pet, I said. No, she said. Dogs are too loud. On Wednesday, I asked my mother if I could have a dog. A dog is the best pet of all, I said. No, she said. No dogs. On Thursday, I asked my mother if I could have a dragon. A dragon, she said. I have never heard of a dragon for a pet. She thought a bit. If you can find a dragon, you can keep it for a pet. Dragons are not easy to find. There were no dragons in the park. There were no dragons at the beach. There were no dragons in the woods. There were no dragons at the zoo. At last, I found a dragon. This dragon was at the drugstore. He was wearing dark glasses and a hat. I asked the dragon to come home with me. The dragon said, "No." "You can sleep in my bed," I said. He still would not come home. "You can play with my toys," I said. The dragon said, "Yes." Dragons like to play with toys, but they do not like to put them away. They do not like to help with chores, and they make a mess in the kitchen. They roast hot dogs in the living room, and they dance to loud music all night long. My mother did not like this dragon. She asked the dragon to please leave. The dragon would not go. Then she told the dragon to leave now. The dragon still would not go. Finally, my mother got angry. She stomped her foot and she told the dragon to leave this minute or else. The dragon just shook his head and went back to eating spaghetti in the bathtub. "Too bad we don't have a dog," I said. "Dragons do not like dogs." The dragon looked worried. "Dragons are afraid of dogs," I said. The dragon began to shake. "A dog would chase the dragon away," I said. The dragon ran to my toy box and jumped inside. "Maybe you are right," my mother said. "Maybe we need a dog." I put a sign in the window, "Dog wanted," and soon there was a knock at the door. It was a dog. The dragon saw the dog. He grabbed his hat and ran out the door. "Thank goodness we have a dog," said my mother. "A dog is a good pet." My dog wagged his tail. Oh my gosh, what do you see in this picture? Who's that? Do you think the little boy and the dragon were in cahoots? That they were planning that whole thing to get a dog? Tricky. So my dog wagged its tail. Yes, I said, a dog is the best pet of all. All right, that concludes our dragon story time today. But I hope you tune into the craft video because, are you ready for this? I think this might be one of my favorite crafts I've done. You ready? We get to make a dragon. Look at that. So I will show you how to make it, and you can pick up the kits with all of the pieces in it at the library and go home and make your very own dragon. So roar! Dragon story time. Thanks for coming. Have a lovely day and beware of dragons.